my lips. No new taxes. I will keep America moving forward, always forward, for a better America, for an endless, enduring dream and 1,000 points of light. This is my mission, and I will complete it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, one of the more infamous moments from the life and times of George H.W. Bush. Great new biography. You know all about it, written by Pulitzer Prize-winning author Jon Meacham. It's called Destiny and Power, and it's at the American Odyssey of George Herbert Walker Bush. Destiny and Power, the American Odyssey of George Herbert Walker Bush. Good to see you, John.
Thanks, appreciate it.
I know it's been a long morning for you. You should have blew the name, not me. But okay, so before we, is that an unfair moment, or is that a very fair moment to read my lips?
It's a critical moment. It's the moment where he tried to tell the Reagan faithful that he was the rightful heir, and no pun intended.
Yeah.
And so, absolutely, I talked to the president a lot about breaking that pledge. He considered it an actual breach of his word. He took it very seriously. He did not break it.
Does he regret it?
Yes. Yeah. He regrets saying it. I don't.
So he regrets the pledge, but does he regret breaking the pledge?
I don't think so,
No.
because he believed that the national interest trumped it at that point.
No pun intended there either.
No, you can't talk anymore. It's impossible to speak in verbs.
Yeah.
But he, although he did recant it during the '92 campaign, the Georgia primary. But you know, my view of Bush on these questions is, this is a man who, from his 18th birthday forward, tried to serve the country. He was not a movement conservative. He was a moderate conservative. Wasn't a moderate. He was a moderate conservative in the mold of Eisenhower or Ford, in an age more defined by Goldwater and Reagan, and his own son, who was a movement guy, not a moderate guy.
Were you shocked at his assessments and remarks on Cheney and Rumsfeld?
Sure, absolutely. I was delighted.
We should point out, he called was it, which one was old Iron Ass?
Iron Ass was Cheney and Rumsfeld.
Okay.
They were
Yeah.
meaning, and Iron Ass in Bush speak is inflexible. I was very surprised.
He felt they did a disservice to his son's administration.
He did think that, but he also, to his credit, to everyone's credit in the story, he also thought that the buck stopped there. It was ultimately his son's call. The son was the president. That was that. What's gotten less attention, interestingly to me, is his criticism of his son for having rhetoric that was too hot. And that was more of a style point than a substance point. One of the things that struck me as I worked through those comments very carefully over a long time was actually 41 and 43 were closer together on substance than I think even they knew, because I really don't think they talked about it.
It was style.
I think it was style. I think it was axis of evil.
But maybe dictated by circumstance as well.
Unquestionably, President Bush said, different wars, different reasons.
Yeah.
Strategic environment was different. Absolutely.
And it's all in here, and it's a wonderful work, which I don't have to say anything with your name on it, is a wonderful work of a man who is loved by just about everybody these days.
Yeah.
For, maybe even Cheney and Rumsfeld, I would dare say. But let me ask you about where we are now. With Trump and the Republicans. What do you think is of what's going on?
Well, we've gone from 1988. You had a nominee who could barely talk about himself. The speech you just showed was a necessary attempt for him to define himself, to a guy who largely talks about himself, almost to the exclusion.
Is he a racist?
Is Donald Trump a racist?
Is he Hitler? Is he is he all these things they're saying about him? A bigot? An Islamophobe?
I think he's. Let me answer this way. I think that imposing a religious test on immigration is wrong-headed. I'll leave the words to others. One of the great gifts of the United States of America to the world has been a tradition of religious liberty,
but we've never had a situation where a certain religion is infested with people who want to come to this country and kill us and chop our heads off and live under Sharia law, which the Pew polls show in Muslim countries is overwhelming, the latter about Sharia law.
We have always been stronger the wider we've opened our arms. And we've gone through periods where we have been under attack. We've been through periods where we are incredibly anxious about groups.
Carter banned the Iranians from coming in. He made the students register. He canceled the visas. That's as recently as Carter. Now don't have to go back to Roosevelt and the Japanese.
I understand. I think that a religious test on immigration is a bad idea.
Okay, but you wouldn't call Trump. You say you leave it to others. But would you call him a bigot, a racist, and Islamophobe? Any of those? Does it fit him?
I haven't thought through enough to know whether to call Trump something.
Now, who's going to win the nomination on the Republican side? We got about 20 seconds here.
Lord! If I knew that, I would be a rich man.
Okay, and Hillary, is she going to survive this FBI investigation?
She'll survive, and I think the question that the Democrats have got to figure out is how to deal with Trump.
Okay,
and the issues he raises.
John, thank you so much. Great seeing you. All right, folks, we're coming back with a lot more. Don't go away.